Good morning. My name is Drew Edwards from the Hamilton Spectator, and this is Bad Hotel Coffee Chat for Wednesday at the Grey Cup. This is my Bad Hotel coffee, and it's pretty bad. It's one of those standard small coffee makers with the whitener and all that. And yeah, I'll be hoping to get a better cup of coffee at one of the many wonderful coffee shops here in Vancouver, where it is raining but still quite warm. And so no complaining. I feel very healthy and great, which is a far cry better than how I felt in Saskatchewan, as some of you will remember at the last Grey Cup. So let's get on to some of these questions that people sent in. Please keep them coming. That's great. Werner Anders asked about receiver Greg Ellingson and his status. Ellingson is healthy, in my opinion. He's been running with the scout team for probably at least a month, but just can't get back into the lineup. I think the Ticats like the wide receiving core they have right now. It brings a nice balance of possession receivers and speed with Banks and Sinkfield. And obviously they're playing a couple Canadians there as well. So there's ratio issues. Interesting that both Kerry Coke and Greg Ellingson I think are quality CFL receivers, are playing on the scout team for this team, and we'll see what happens with them for next season, as some of the current Ticats are free agents, including, and I should mention this, Luke Tasker, who has come on and become a bona fide weapon in the CFL. And that's another reason why Ellingson and Coke haven't been able to get as much of an opportunity. Nick Matina sent along some interesting statistics regarding the Ticats jerseys in Grey Cups. I had a couple questions on Twitter about why the Ticats are wearing white in the Grey Cup. That's because they are the visiting team, and that's because the game is being played in a Western city. When it's played in Eastern cities, the East team is the home team. So the Ticats will be in white in the 9 Grey Cups. The Ticats have, going back to, I believe, 1972, the Ticats have worn black 3 times and won all 3 of those games. They've worn white 6 times and lost all 6 of those games. So that's not a particularly good omen. I obviously like the all-black uniform, but Ticats don't have that option. And, obviously, I don't know how much stock you want to put in that, but 0-6 when wearing their white jerseys in the Grey Cup since '72. John Milligan asked me about the status of Dan Lefevre and wanted to look at a stats comparison between the two teams in the 2 games they played this season. Lefevre is rehabbing. I don't think he's going to be at the Grey Cup. I think he's in Florida in the midst of his rehab. I don't expect to see him here. There will be some injured players here, like Brian Bulkey, I think, is coming out later in the week. Greg White is coming out later in the week, but I don't expect to see Lefevre here. Dan's a free agent in February. I think he's going to draw some interest from other CFL teams, but he's in the process of fixing up that knee. So in terms of the stats comparison between the two teams and the games they played, the last game they played was August 16th, so it's been a while since these two teams faced each other. In that August 16th game, the Ticats, even though they lost 30-20, I mean, the Stampeders got a late touchdown. That game was closer than it indicated. But in that game, the Ticats had more first downs, more yards, more sacks, and led in time of possession. So, didn't dominate statistically, but certainly had an advantage in most of the key categories. Where they didn't have the advantage was in turnovers. They lost the turnover battle 3-1 in that game, and also lost the turnover battle 3-1 in the game in Calgary that they lost 10-7. Now, the Stamps had a slight statistical advantage in that game, time of possession, first downs, all that stuff, yards, offensive yards. But these teams, I think, were very closely matched, statistically speaking, in both the 2 games. Now, 2 things which are worth mentioning. One, Zach Collaros didn't play in either one of those games for the Ticats, and obviously John Cornish didn't play in either one of those games for Calgary. Those are obviously major contributors for both those teams that weren't a factor in the regular season games, and they'll both be playing on Sunday. So please keep the questions coming. We'll try and answer a couple more tomorrow. In terms of everything else, did get my run in yesterday, 7.5 kilometers or so in the rain outside along the seawall. Decided to tough it out. It was a little wet, but turned out fine. Nice to be outside after being in a plane for 5 hours. And I'll we'll have to see what the weather looks like. It's supposed to be rainy here the next couple of days. Warm but rainy. Gonna try and get outside though if I can, just because I'm gonna spend a lot of time in this hotel room writing and practice and things like that. So good to get outside when I can. Meal wise, we'll have to see with the next couple of days. I ate in a pub last night with a couple of guys from the Calgary papers, and we were talking football, so I didn't get to pick the restaurant, so it wasn't particularly noteworthy. But it would. I had, if you must know, I had a salad and some chicken wings, which I think was a nice balance. A little protein, a little salad, but also a little bit of fun with the chicken wings. So there you go. So I will be at practice today, and I'll have updates from there. And make sure you follow the Twitter feed as well. And yeah, so reporting from Vancouver, I'm Drew Edwards.